Season 15 of America's Got Talent next week, Tuesday, at 8 Eastern on NBC. And the man who is hosting that great program from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, a man who has done a ton with his career after leaving the National Football League and is an inspiration to so many. Terry Crews back here on the program. How are you, Terry?
I'm doing good, Rich. How you doing, man?
Better for talking to you. Everybody fine in your world, your life, your family? Knocking on wood here?
Oh, man, we're doing good, man. We're doing good. I'll be honest with you, though. I mean, all this quarantine stuff, it sucks. It definitely sucks, you know. But I'm looking at it glass half full. We're alive, we're healthy, and we are ready to go, brother.
I look forward to that, and obviously seeing America's Got Talent next week, next Tuesday. A lot of fans are looking forward to that. And we'll talk about that in a second. Is there any time during this quarantine that you flipped the television on and have seen an old game of yours that you were playing in? Have you seen any?
No.
Has that happened at all, Terry? To you?
That has not happened. I mean, that's the internet, though. The internet always sends me old clips and all that stuff, but on TV, it doesn't get played that often. I was caught up in the whole Last Dance thing, man. Holy cow. Every weekend, I was glued to the TV, brother.
What'd you learn from that one?
You know what I learned, man, is, you know what, and this is I had already learned this stuff, I mean, when I played in the NFL, but one thing I learned is that, you know, what is successful in sports is not necessarily successful in life. You know what I mean? Like, people think that there's a sports attitude, yeah, that's the way to do it, and all of a sudden you'll be more successful in life. But a lot of times this stuff leads to things that I had to get rid of. You know what I mean? Like the whole competition aspect, the grudges, the fights, the whole thing. I'm like, man, you know, I'm glad I'm out of that, to be honest with you. It just reminded me of a lot of really pettiness that I had to really get out of my life. This is a very, very petty show. I tell you that right
fascinating.
now.
By the way, with you now working in Hollywood, saying that there's a scene more petty than that. That's a headline. Number one, but
Hollywood's the same way. It is. I mean, Hollywood and sports are. But again, people think. Remember, you got to understand. People think that successful actor. Oh my God, he must be a successful person. But let me tell you, we got 50 million examples of how that does not work.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's the same way. And my thing is that really, really, it's all about how you finish. You know what I mean? A lot of people put a lot of play on how you start. But to me, it's always been like, right now at 52 years old, I wouldn't go back to 21 or anything. I didn't know anything. But at the time, hey, he's on his way to NFL. He's doing all this great stuff. But it's really how you finish, brother. That's really what that makes the difference.
Well, I mean, you're touching on a few things. I want to pull on some of these strands with you, Terry. So when you say pettiness when you were playing and that you had to get rid of it, are you saying that this is the stuff that you thought you needed to do in order to succeed, and then you realized as you were getting out of sports that you didn't? I'm wondering what exactly are you referring to when you say that?
I am referring to I had, you know, there are certain duels that you get. You feel like you have to beat a certain person in order to make it. You know, I remember this is strange. I remember getting into fights on the bus in the NFL. You know what I mean? And people were, you know, we would get mad at each other and the whole deal. And you carry those grudges, you know what I mean? Even for years, even after it's gone. And then you look back and you realize, and I have to be honest, the person that I was fighting on that bus is gone. He's dead. And you realize, wait a minute, man, you know, there's things that are bigger than this. You know, because that game at one time was the biggest thing ever, but everybody's on to the new stuff. You know what I mean? If you're still holding on to this stuff, it can really, really wreck you. You know, and that's the example that's one example of the pettiness that you can carry. That you realize, man, I'm mad against somebody who's not even here anymore. You know what I mean? So you got to just let it go. Well,
I mean, Jordan, Terry Crews here on the Rich Eisen Show. When you're talking about The Last Dance, it seems to me that when he would hold on to, he's still holding on to stuff. I mean, in a man in his late 50s with all the trophies in the case, and he's won in the way that we are viewing his style and the way he would deal with his teammates or talk to them or be with them, that we lionize it because he has 6 trophies. Right.
Right. So first of all, you got to know, I love Michael Jordan for what he is, and I love everything about him. But then when you look at, the thing between him and Isaiah or him and Horace Grant, and you just wish they could all go out and have a lemonade, you know what I mean, and relax. It's like, dude, you guys have made it. You guys have won. And any bit of, and hopefully, I'm hoping that, behind the scenes that they were able to get together, but to hear that him and Isaiah have something at each other, because I grew up in Michigan with Isaiah Thomas, you know what I mean? And I loved Isaiah at the same time as I loved Jordan. And to see that, they're not getting along, hopefully. In the show, it looked like they didn't get along. And you just want people to be at peace with each other, because you got to realize life is short, man. It's really, really short.
So are you saying, Terry, that that's not lemonade in that tumbler next to Jordan during the last dance?
Let's just say it's ice cold water. Let's just say
something, yeah. Could be some form of aid. I don't know. Yeah. But it's funny.
But we can all get caught into that, Rich.
Right.
Listen, I've been in there. I'm guilty. I'm not sitting here saying Jordan is. There are things that my wife has called me on. She's like, dude, you need to let that go. That was back when you were playing and all this stuff. And I'm like, you're right. You know what I mean? These are things that creep back up. And if you don't really do the due diligence of looking at examining your own thinking, you can be trapped by some of that stuff, man. And it doesn't matter how much money you make or how successful you are.
So what was it like, and why'd you do it, go to NFL Europe? Why'd you go to the Rhine Fire, Terry? Again, I just love your journey. We now know you, obviously, as a very successful actor, television host. You are a hyphenate now here in this town. But you are also a member of the Rhine Fire. I don't think anybody else on television can say something like that.
Let me tell you, I had been cut by the San Diego Chargers the year before, and what was crazy is that I was told once a week by my coach that they were going to bring me back, and they never did. And I mean, all 16 weeks of the NFL season. You have to understand, the next year, the Chargers went all the way to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And they still kept telling me, we're going to bring you back. We're going to bring you back. And I was crushed, man. I was waiting, paying my own rent, trying to stay in town for this team that I thought was going to bring me back, and they never did. And I thought going to the Rhine Fire was my only way back into the NFL. That was my thing. And it turned out it was. I was one of only 7 players in the whole NFL Europe to make it back into the league in that year.
Who else was playing with you in NFL Europe then?
Gino Torretta was playing, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Oh my God, the big quarterback that just retired from the league from Indianapolis. I'm blanking out right now. Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was a kid.
That's right. His
father, Oliver Luck,
right,
ran the league. And so Andrew was running around on the sidelines, just a little kid, man. I was like, "Hey, Andrew, throw me that ball." And he's like, "Hey," And now, he's now retired and the whole thing. That just shows you how old I am. But
did you pick up German? Did you talk German?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I got a little bit. A lot of, danke shit.
There you go. That works. That works. You didn't take German in Western Michigan? You didn't do that?
Not at all. Not at all. But this is the thing. I mean, they didn't really want us over there either. It was not a very good thing. I mean, they're not used to. They weren't used to American football. It was kind of wild, and I thought it was going to be better than it was. And then I made it back and got picked up by the Redskins.
Right.
And I was so happy to be back.
So what's the last football question for then? We'll turn to your America's Got Talent. Best play you, Terry Crews, ever made in the NFL?
I was knocked out on Monday Night Football. I hit a guy so hard that I knocked myself out. Okay. Clarence Verdin, and this is so crazy. He was the smallest man in the NFL.
Right.
He was a kickoff returner, and I was on the kickoff, and I was on the Chargers. We were playing the Indianapolis Colts, and I come down on the kickoff, and bow! I knocked this guy. I busted his chin, and then I fall out, and I'm gone. And I'm telling you, getting knocked out was the most peaceful feeling I ever felt in my entire life.
Come on.
I was back in the womb, Rich. I'm trying to tell you, man. I didn't have no up or down. There was no pain.
Right.
You knew. That's why you get knocked out, because your body's like, okay, we quit. And but holy cow, what a headache I had afterward. But it was a hit, man. I got hit of the week, and they give you T-shirts for all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It was crazy.
Back in the day. So that's when I ask you your best play you made in the NFL, you're saying it was when you got knocked out on Monday Night Football.
That's it. That was pivotal.
Oh,
pivotal.
My gosh. That's amazing.
Believe me, the whole crowd was like, yo. I mean, everybody. But I had to look at that on the replay because I did not remember it happening, okay? I just looked at it when they played it back.
I bet. So maybe, again, we're in quarantine. We'll flip on, see that game with Terry Crews here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, let's talk America's Got Talent. It looks like you're having a blast doing this, Terry.
I love it. I tell my wife keeps telling me not to say this anymore, but I'm going to continue to say it because I would host this show for free. It is the most satisfying, most amazing. You are giving away dreams, dude. And you got to understand why I say that is because I actually hosted my high school talent show when I was in high school.
Hey.
You do that for free too. You know what I mean? So this was my destiny. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm walking into something I was always being prepared for and didn't know it. And my God, dude, it's just gigantic. It's the world's biggest talent show. It's so much fun. And dude, season 15, this is our best ever because we had to go through this whole COVID thing. Like, you won't believe this.
Yeah, tell me what that was like and what to expect here, Terry.
Well, you know, we've been super successful, so the crowds are always there. We had a full packed audience. Then all of a sudden, you know, this is back when COVID was just a rumor.
Right.
We didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it was like a pool being drained. I mean, the audience got more and more sparse, and then Heidi got sick. And she quarantined herself just to protect everyone else because she thought, oh, my God, this is going around.
Right.
So we had 3 judges and finally went down to no audience. Rich, it was crazy. It was like, what is happening? It was almost like, I don't know what to say. It was like, the apocalypse was happening. You know what I mean? And you're going to see this happen literally episode by episode. And it's going to be crazy. All these comedians and acts had to perform with no audience.
Hey, I mean, I think for the return of sports, Terry, we're all going to have to get used to that, right? I
yes,
mean, like
the sports is the best way I could pretty much kind of like it's similar. It's just because you can't have an audience anymore. But this is the deal. I think will be more successful simply because you have the people craving it. You know what I mean? Like, what can I say? I think, you know, when I look at AGT, just like I look at the NFL or an NBA. When you play something on TV, and it doesn't really matter if you were there or not, you're there in spirit. You know what I'm saying? So It's going to be gigantic with all these people at home.
Yeah, and Sofia Vergara added to the crew and the cast this year. You know, her husband, Joe Manganiello, if you did get to meet him before everything shut down, I'm sure he might have been talking your ear off about football, too.
He's the man. I've known Joe for years. I actually did a movie with Sophia years ago called Soul Plane with a little guy named Kevin Hart.
And
nobody had ever heard of him at the time. He was just blowing up. And so she became literally one of the most famous people on earth.
True.
Since then. And it's wild to watch people grow and know that life keeps going. And like I said, it's truly how you finish, brother.
Absolutely. Hey, Terry, always love our chats. Always. Really
you're
do.
The man, Rich.
Right back at you. Right back at you. Congrats as always on your success. And we'll be checking out America's Got Talent season 15 premiering next week on NBC Tuesday at 8 Eastern Time. We'll check it out.
Oh, you got it. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Right back at you. That's Terry Crews, at Terry Crews on Twitter, right here on The Rich Eisen Show. And also Brooklyn Nine-Nine, a great, funny television show with our buddy Joe Latrulio. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.